Sergio Oliva looked like something from another galaxy, and all up there posing. And I'm thinking to myself, this is amazing.
Sergio, yeah, one of the greatest bodybuilders to ever walk this earth.
Sergio Oliva is, I would say Sergio has probably had the best genetics, and look what the guy looked like in the late 60s with what they had available then.
He was the most genetically gifted.
I would think so, yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful thing to say right there.
In bodybuilding, genetics are everything. Some guys have the best arms, some have crazy legs, a massive chest, or a back that looks unreal. But when it comes to pure, unmatched genetics, there's one name that stands above them all: Sergio Oliva. People always say you need good genetics to make it to the top. And if we're talking about pure, God-given ability, Sergio might have been the most gifted bodybuilder of all time. He had it all: the insane size, perfect shape, and a waist so small it didn't even make sense.
The first time I saw him in person, I couldn't believe it. His waist-to-shoulder ratio was just insane. You hear people talk about it, you see the pictures, but until you see it with your own eyes, it doesn't seem real. His waist was very, very tiny. 29 inches, the same size as his legs. It was like something straight out of a comic book.
And arms so huge they looked unreal. 22 inches of pure mass, veins popping everywhere. His shirts had to be custom made just to fit his arms, with slits in the sleeves so they wouldn't rip.
People ask me all the time, what's the secret to big arms? Any tips for biceps, tips for triceps? But the truth is, there are no tricks, no shortcuts. You want big arms, you have to put in the work, push through the pain, and keep going even when your muscles are on fire. It's those last few reps, the ones that feel impossible, that actually make your muscles grow. No half effort, no wasting time on useless exercises. I stuck to the basics, lifted heavy, and gave it everything I had. Every single set. That's how you build real size.
All right, let's get into the first biceps exercise: barbell curls. Sergio Oliva used to hit barbell curls with a wide grip, wider than his shoulders. This was his go-to move for building those thick, long biceps. He'd curl the bar up with power, squeezing hard at the top of the movement. His style was fast and rhythmic, using his whole upper body to drive that heavy weight. Sergio believed in lifting big to create those deep muscle tears, the kind that force the biceps to grow bigger and stronger.
When I trained biceps, I didn't follow no textbook rules. I trained by feel. Let the body dictate the motion. Biceps don't grow from baby curls. When I grabbed that barbell, it wasn't about looking pretty or keeping some strict form. It was about handling heavy weight, making the muscles work, forcing them to respond. I curled with power, controlled chaos, fast, strong, and always pushing for more. That's how you build real size.
If you've got long muscle bellies, you have the potential to build more muscle mass. And Sergio Oliva had uniformly long muscle bellies on like everywhere in his body. It's probably the most genetically gifted.
All right, now we're hitting seated dumbbell curls. This one locks you in. No leg drive, no swinging, just pure biceps doing the work. Sit down on a flat bench, grab those heavy dumbbells, and curl them up strong, bringing them out from the shoulders. Lower them all the way down, get that deep stretch in the biceps, then explode the weight back up with power. That stretch and squeeze, that's what builds real size.
This one's tougher than your regular standing curls, and that's exactly what you want. Make the arms take all the weight, feel that burn, embrace that pain. But listen, rhythm is everything. I never did these slow. I kept that weight moving, rep after rep, flooding the biceps with blood, stretching, squeezing, never letting up. That constant tension, that's what forces them to grow.
Let's move on to the next exercise, preacher curls. Sergio had two ways of attacking this one. First, he grabbed a barbell and went heavy, real heavy. With preacher curls, there's no cheating, no swinging, just pure biceps doing the work. That's the key. He kept going, rep after rep, and when he couldn't move it anymore, he'd pause at the top for a second, then fire out more reps. No slowing down, just relentless effort. Somehow, keep curling. Then he switched it up, hitting preacher curls one arm at a time. This let him focus, control every rep, and really target the muscle. More control, more tension, more growth. That's how you build real biceps.
I learned to really focus on the pump, the squeeze, the contraction. It's about feeling every rep, concentrating on it, making those arms burn. That's how you build real muscle, pushing those biceps to their limit.
Next up, we've got seated barbell curls. It's a variation you don't see many people doing, but Sergio was all over it. This one really forces your arms to do all the work, no leg drive to take the weight. Sit down on a flat bench, grip the bar just outside shoulder width, just like we did with the regular barbell curls. Then explode that weight up with pure power. This move locks in the focus on your biceps and gets them working hard. Now, let's talk about standing dumbbell curls. Here's some old footage of Sergio hitting this move in his posing trunks. Look at those biceps, veins popping, skin so thin you can see every detail. When doing this exercise, it's all about the stretch. Grab two heavy dumbbells, curl them up, and then slowly lower them down, controlling every inch of the movement. That's how you really work the muscle and get those biceps to grow. Next up, we've got a classic, the concentration curl. If you're looking to build that peak, this might be the best exercise for it. All you need is one heavy dumbbell. Bend down, grab the weight, and curl it up, squeezing hard at the top. Feel that peak contract, then lower it back down under control. That's how you carve out bicep peaks like Sergio.
I didn't make it complicated. Just grab a heavy dumbbell, lock in, and keep your mind on the muscle. Focus, stay in control, and curl it up with power. That's how you make the muscle work. If you want to make real gains, you got to give it everything. It's about the pump, the squeeze, the contraction, feeling every rep, staying focused, and making those arms burn. That's what pushes the muscle to grow.
Sergio, when he was on his peak, he was unbelievable. I remember one day we met in Chicago. Sergio came in with his tank top. The place was quiet. They just stared and stared at him. He was absolutely, it was wonderful, fabulous sight you can imagine when he was in shape. And even now, I won't dare to talk with him at all.
I won't say much. Joe already said it all.
All right, let's move on to triceps. If you want big arms, you can't ignore triceps. They're what give your arms that full, complete look. First up, tricep pushdowns. This is a killer move to build size, hitting the lateral head, the outer part of the triceps. Sergio did these on a crossover machine with a short bar attached to the cable. He'd grab the bar with a pronated grip, stand tall near the pulley, and press down heavy. No slow reps, just a fast, steady rhythm, keeping that weight moving and the triceps under constant tension. Then he switched it up with a variation. Single arm tricep press downs. If you want fully developed triceps, you gotta hit them from different angles. That's why Sergio didn't just stick to one grip. First, he'd grab the handle with a pronated grip, pressing down to target the lateral head. Then, he'd switch to a supinated grip, pressing the weight down to hit the medial head. Different grips, different angles. Full tricep development.
I never stuck to just one grip. I switched it up to hit every part of the triceps. Kept the weight moving, rep after rep, never stopping. The goal is to chase the pump, keep the blood flowing into the muscle, and make it swell with every rep, but always in control. That's the key.
Next up, single arm overhead tricep extensions. Sergio hit this one in 2 different ways to make sure every part of the triceps got worked. First, he did it standing, focusing on the long head while still hitting the lateral and medial heads. Then, he switched it up and did the same movement on an incline bench using cables. This slight change in position hit a different part of the long head, forcing the muscle to work even harder. The key here, feel that stretch. Let the long head fully extend, then contract hard at the top. That's how you build complete triceps.
I always made sure to feel that stretch in my triceps. You gotta focus on the muscle you're working. Listen, the triceps are what make your arms big.
To finish it off, Sergio never skipped hitting the forearms. He went old school with classic wrist curls using a barbell. He worked all parts of the forearm with different grips. Sitting on a bench, he'd rest his wrists on his knees, starting with a pronated grip, curling the bar up. After that, he'd switch to a supinated grip and curl until that burn hit. Changing up the grips targets different parts of the forearm, helping you build those thick, full wrists with veins popping out.
A lot of people think it's easy. Just push the weight and you'll grow, grow, grow. No. This is work, harder than anything you've done before. It's painful. You'll want to stop, but don't. Go all out. This is my blueprint for arm growth.